Hansa Fish River Canoe Marathon is proudly brought to you by Hansa Pilsener. Every spring, the highways and byways that lead to Craddock in the heart of the Klein Karoo can be seen festooned with bakkies laden with kayaks, K1s, K2s and K3s. It's the Hansa fish, and for many paddlers, this is the highlight of the year.
Why the fish? I've heard so much about it. It's the first time I've been here, and after a day of tripping, I'm hell of a looking forward to it. Hope I don't drown tomorrow.
It's just a great race. I mean, it has an awesome atmosphere. You've got guaranteed water, which we definitely don't have at home in Australia. And yeah, the after party's sick, so why not?
I've been doing it now for like 25 years and it's just amazing. The people are great here and they make us want to come back here, and that's what it's all about.
There were plenty of new faces amongst the 1,400 paddlers gathered, including Karima Hare.
Our development youths have been learning canoeing on flat water, and we've introduced them to rivers, and a number of them are now ready for major A-grade national events such as Fish and Doozy. Some of them have done it before, some of them are doing their first fish today.
I've been paddling for 7 years now. It's been hard, it's not easy. I thank my mum for taking me always and the club for helping me get through everything, and I think they've really created a nice atmosphere for everyone to paddle in and enjoy the sport.
The first of the paddlers was due to get underway at 7 a.m. on Friday morning, a Friday morning with a howling westerly wind. And for the paddlers that gathered on the banks of Grass Ridge Dam, it was the early start, the 48 kilometers and the windy conditions that posed several questions. For many new crews, however, settling into partnerships is not always that simple a matter.
Well, the first major problem in a double is leaning. Often you have someone lean slightly to the left and the other person lean slightly to the right, and after an hour you've got a completely cramping back. So luckily with Bridget, as soon as we hopped in the boat we were straight.
Yeah, look, it's pretty cold, the wind's up at the moment, but yeah, the fish is a fantastic race. I'm really happy to be here, and done a bit of mileage in the last couple of days, but yeah, it's a great event and I wouldn't want to miss it for the world.
I mean, there's always the willows and they're changing every year. I mean, they grow, they change, they fall over and that sort of thing. So obviously, I mean, I think it's to try and obviously get ahead or be with the front guys, have enough space that there's not guys spinning you out and all that sort of thing. And then always just make sure we're upright through the rapids.
The 32nd edition of the Hansa Fish River Canoe Marathon began at a blustery and cold Grass Ridge Dam as they headed down towards Craddock, 81 kilometres away. Stage 1, though, was 46 kilometres to Knutsford.
The howling wind blowing into the paddlers' faces, causing havoc with the start, the usual knee-deep Lamar start being forsaken for boats on dry land, and the paddlers having to be careful about getting splash covers on early. We're on board with Hank McGregor. Looks like he's setting off on a surf ski race right now as the paddlers head off on a shortened run across the dam and then onto the river, where 3 key obstacles lie in wait over the first 10 kilometres. The brand new double troubleshoot, then a little bit further downstream, the legendary low-level bridge, McGregor ducking under the Toast Rack Bridge, and then at 9.5 kilometres, the legendary Keith's Flyover. The end of the dam portage, which was shortened because of the rough wind conditions, and it's Brandon van der Walt and his partner who have got an early lead. A real shake-up on the dam. The defending champs nowhere in the picture at this stage, and the great doozy runners Lance Kama and Tulani Mbanjwa heading the charge back down to the put-in at the Fish River, and then heading off into the testing 10 kilometres. The first is the new double weir obstacle, and it's Len Jenkins and Greg Lowe who mastered this, but this was where they bent their rudder. It happened a few seconds ago as they slid down that first slide. They go through the main stopper wave, okay? Just behind them, second and in third place now, here come the defending champs. They were way off the place coming off the dam, but Hank McGregor and Grant van der Walt. Just a few days ago, they were in Denmark for the World Marathon Champs, and here they are in Craddock trying to defend their title. coming up to the Toast Rack low-level bridge, and up front it is still Len Jenkins and Greg Lowe, an untested combination, sliding under the bridge. Hank McGregor going under Toast Rack as well, trying to reel in the front runners, and this is Len Jenkins' way. He likes to streak away on his own, and there in the background you can see the drama. Jenkins and Lowe stopping, Kaiman and Banjwa generously straightening their rudder, but that means that for the spectators waiting at Keith's flyover, this man was back in front. Hank McGregor, World Marathon champ for the third time, and his partner Grant van der Walt making the pounding waves of Keith's flyover look like a stroll in the park. So they had a sniff of the front, and if you give a man like Hank McGregor and Grant van der Walt that opportunity, he's not going to forsake it. Younger brother Brandon going really nicely as he pounds through the big stopper waves at the exit chute of Keith's flyover. Things looking very comfortable for them, and an opportunity for them to capitalize on here. In third place now, Lance Kime and Tulani Mbanjwa crashing through successfully down the right-hand side of Keith's. Tulani Mbanjwa and Lance Kime, a much talked about doozy combination, and there they are after partially straightening their rudder. Len Jenkins and Greg Lowe, but with plenty more work to do on the day. Keith's flyover catches plenty of paddlers unaware, many of them in A batch, but as batch after batch moved underneath the famous concrete bridge built by the Collett family, Keith's flyover claimed victim after victim. At roughly the 60% mark on day one, the bridge at Soutpans Drift, Hank McGregor and Grant van der Walt sliding effortlessly under the top and then pounding through the wave at the bottom. By this stage, their lead was nudging the 2.5 minute mark. In second place, Ben Biggs and Ali Glass from the Western Cape, entering the long 300 meters of rough water that the paddlers love, simply calling it Soutpans. In third place, Len Jenkins and Greg Lowe heading for the drop underneath the bridge at Soutpans, and they too comfortably in command of the rough water, exiting smoothly. And in fourth place, Lance Kime and Tulani Mbanjwa prepare for the exciting roller coaster ride.
Around 35 kilometers into the first stage of the Hansa River Canoe Marathon, and they reach Katkopwe, which is a compulsory portage, and leading the field by nearly 2 minutes, Hank McGregor and Grant van der Walt. They have put in huge time to the rest of the field so far, and these are the defending champions. They've only got around 9 kilometers to go down to the finish at Knutsford. They're in control on day one.
And imperviously in control, Hank McGregor, who got off the plane back from Copenhagen with a head cold and was a 50-50 starter for the day, powering home to a massive lead. Not another boat in sight as they cross the finish. Ben Biggs and Ali Glass in second, but it's 4 minutes back.
Halfway through the Willows, we looked like everyone had, I think, spent themselves a bit too much, and yeah, we just sort of kept a good rhythm, and we caught the front three guys about halfway to Keith's, and then we overtook them, and from there it was a pretty solo paddle.
So the tail of the tape makes handsome reading for the defending champs. They've got a 4-minute lead in the bag. Brandon van der Walt and Stu McLaren, the leading under 23s in 4. So time to turn our attention to the women's race, and some very fancied crews, a lot of brand new combinations on the water here. Pretty small batch of women that were shortlisted to be the potential medalists in this year's race, and they struggled across the rough waters of Grass Ridge Dam. But by the time they were running down to the put-in, it was Abby Ady and Anna Adamova from the Czech Republic who were holding all the cards. Michelle Byrne, who bashed her head in Tripping Day on Thursday, here with Danica Bartho getting into the water. They had a great paddle across the dam. Experienced surf ski paddlers. Here's Robin Kime, who's paddling with Olympic bronze medalist Bridget Hartley as they head down to the river. They're sure to be a big factor in this race. Has Bridge got the 48 kilometers in her though? Time will only tell. Down to double trouble, and it's Abby Ady and Anna Adamova leading the women's batch as they head into the second drop. Also an untested combination, but the Czech girl having an absolute blast in the back seat and certainly looking more than competent in the rough water. Bartho and Byrne, second women's boat down into the chute at double trouble. They head into the second slide, manage that thing competently as well. And here comes Robin Kime, a former winner of this race. She goes into the first chute, takes that 45-degree left-hand drop, and with the Olympic golden girl in the background, rudder sticking up a little bit, but they managed to exit safely. And then into the Willows as they head downstream for that long first day all the way to Knutsford Drop. The big decision at Keith's flyover was a soft one for the leading women because they decided uniformly to portage and put safety first. So not much time lost or gained by any of the crews, only Hilary Pitchford and Brittany Peterson being brave enough to opt to shoot the big waters of Keith's flyover out of the seeded women's batch. But the rest of the seeded women's comfortably back into the water, no major changes. As we wind the clock forward to Soutpansdrift, here's Abby Adey and Anna Adamova bouncing underneath the bridge and entering the long wave trains that the paddlers love to call Soutpans. Robin Keim and Bridget Hartley also heading towards Soutpans, but by this stage there was a cavernous lead beginning to emerge in front of them, and they had lost contact with Abby Adey and Anna Adamova. By the time they got to Knutsford, it was all smiles for Abby and Anna as they could celebrate a great day on the water. They had more than 2 minutes over Bridget Hartley and Robin Keim.
Yeah, we started with quite a choppy paddle across the dam, but we were super solid, put our splashes on early, so got ahead and then hit the river, went hard, went conservatively through all the major obstacles, and yeah, quite tired at the end here, but we're glad to get here in first place.
Obviously it's again for us honoured to be involved again, and no, you guys heard the news again last night, but we extended it actually for another 3 years, and that's as you say, that's the reason, because it's all about fun also, you know, and the paddlers, and it's just a nice environment, and the people, yeah, it's awesome, you know, and actually, and what we have seen, the more development paddlers taking part of, and that is for us, you know, a big plus for us, and you know, happy to see.
Well, after a blustering cold start on the dam, it's a warm finish here at Knutsford after day one of the Hansa Fish River Canoe Marathon. They've done 46 Ks, and Hank McGregor and Grant van der Walt hold a very handy lead going into the second day and the final stage, 35 Ks down to Craddock. It'll take a lot of beating to catch them.
For the massive field that gathered at Grassridge Dam for the start of the Hansa Fish, it's an event that defines their year. It's an annual highlight, and the enthusiasm and anticipation was irrepressible ahead of day one.
The river paddling provides enough of an adrenaline rush to get through life.
Part of the fun every year is joining in the Pimp My Ride theme. This year, paddlers were asked to pimp themselves Disney, something that the varsity students in the SASU competition normally go big for. So keep an eye out for closet Disney characters on the water.
It's awesome, it's amazing.
Make a plan to catch us Channel 208, 8 p.m. tomorrow night for the final day.
Yeah, we're really grateful for the support. We've got loyal support here every year, and we're really grateful for all the support.
The Hansa Fish 2013 was proudly brought to you by Hansa Pilsener.